Yeah, I learned my
We're
lesson.
now live on YouTube, going live on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. Uh, anyway, I am Xander. Who am I joined by today?
King's Refuge.
Yeah, and we will be hopefully joined by the Golden Loon
Going on!
at some point. And of course, you viewer are you. Thank you very much for watching. You know, I'm omitting most of the intro because let's just get into the history today, shall we? What is today? August 5th, Moon's Day, aka Monday, 2024. I just completely scrambled that up like a bunch of eggs. So let's get into it. What do we got here?
135 Bitar, last outpost of Bar Kochba, falls to Rome.
Ah.
You know what we need to do is really work on getting more BCs in there.
Well, yeah. Well, like I do have multiple sources to use from, and I gotta get back in. I was doing good for a little while about utilizing two sources in the very least, but then I kind of fell off that. But
Again, we need to make our own website.
we do. We really do. Like
Because
that's
we're always complaining about, oh, you changed it, you left out this context. No,
Yeah.
you put it up and you just leave it there.
yeah. We got to do that. Like as I said, like we've been talking about that for a while. We did have a website for a little bit, but I just couldn't figure out how to do all that. But
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there. So, let's move on up to the year 910.
910, the last major Viking army to raid England, is defeated at the Battle of Tettenhall by the Allied forces of America and Wessex, led by King Edward and Earl Ethelred. Mercia, sorry. Mercia.
I was gonna say like that's very close to America. It just swapped to
America.
yeah, Mercia, America, very similar.
Golden Loon, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
He popped in. He was going to go back out for something.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
that was quick.
1100, Henry the First is crowned King of England in Westminster Abbey, London.
All right. Henry the First. So the first one.
Oh.
1264. Go ahead.
1264, anti-Jewish riots break out in Arstadt, Germany.
Wouldn't be the first time. Well,
No.
probably would be. I don't know, but wouldn't be the last. That's for sure. Oh. Now, do you want to cover the article about the freedom guy here?
1305, Scottish resistance leader William Wallace is captured by the English near Glasgow and transported to London for trial and execution.
Freedom!
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, that's our thumbnail today. Is freedom. So
Yeesh.
yeah. 1391 here. Castilian sailors fire attack Jewish ghetto of Barcelona, killing hundreds.
Jeez.
That's not nice. Well, we were just talking about anti-Jewish riots in Germany, like a couple articles prior to this. So, this is weird. Like,
1300s? Or whenever? Prior?
In where was it? 1264.
Good grief.
Anti-Jewish riots break out in Arnstadt, Germany. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like every day we have at least one or multiple articles about things being happening against the Jews,
Yeah.
and then it just begs the question, like, what, like why does it keep happening to the Jews? I really doubt through all of history people just wake up one morning, oh, let's just start hating the Jews. No, what's going on? There's always a tit for tat. It takes two to tango, but it takes one to start. And why do the Jews keep getting the boots? But as soon as
Why
you
are
start
they the
talking
one
about
race
that,
that gets kicked out of every country?
yeah, as soon as you
Why?
start questioning that, oh, now you're anti-Semitic. Oh, stop talking, don't question it, yada yada. Oh no, don't forget the Holocaust, yada yada yada. Well, then you're not answering the question. Why does this keep happening? There is a constant thing that's been happening for thousands of years to the Jewish people, and I just want to know why. What keeps happening? At some point, they have to be the causer of something. People don't just wake up and just start shitting on a people habitually for thousands of years over nothing. Like,
Okay.
well, am I wrong? Like,
I have nothing to add.
well, I mean, it just, I want to know why. Like, why does this
I
keep
don't know
happening?
why.
Exactly. Nobody knows why, because as soon as you start questioning it, now you're anti-Semitic, and the conversation stops. Like,
Yep.
well, that's a little favorable towards one party. So, yeah.
Most of us, when we are ostracized or kicked out of something over and over and over again, we eventually like, okay, maybe I need to look at myself.
Yeah. What's the common denominator here? You know? So, anyway. 1552,
Yeah.
we have the Battle of Ponza. Ottoman naval fleet led by Dragut defeated Genoese fleet, Geonosan, under Andrea Doria, capturing 7 galleys. Now, I know a galley is a kitchen, but would that be like a galleon or something?
I don't
Like,
know. They didn't
And it
capture
doesn't have to do
kitchen.
something to do with ships.
what is a galley? It's just going to say kitchen. Oh, here we
It's
go.
a ship.
Yeah. Galley was a type of ship which relied mostly on oars for propulsion that was
Oh.
used for warfare, trade, and piracy, mostly in the seas surrounding Europe. So this is a galley.
And the people that rowed were in the galley. I believe. I believe that's the term for the galley. Back in the day, where they were down below.
I think maybe you're right. You know, that kind of makes sense because, like, as I said earlier, the galley, as we know today, that's the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, if everybody's down in there, and then the whole ship is that there's not a separate area for eating, so you're sitting in the galley, you're eating. That's probably where that
Probably.
terminology.
Very well could have.
I do know where the term bridge came from.
Fill us in.
So like we all know the bridge, that's where the captain is, on the ship and everything. Now the reason why it's called the bridge is back in the day, during old sailing ships, there is a structure in the middle. Like there's the poop deck, we all know about that. But there was a structure, they started building it in the middle, and it was a span between the right and the left because they have the hold and everything, and they literally built a bridge on the ship, and that became known as the bridge because it was a bridge.
Yeah.
And then that's where your primary navigation, because they were farther along, deeper in the ship. The back is where you controlled it. You had the person up in the crow's nest. You had the person in the front, but then you also had the person in the middle who's like taking in the whole thing. You had multiple points of view, vantage, and all that stuff, and it's all focused on the bridge.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Side note, track. Why is it called a poop deck?
That is a good question. Why is it called a poop deck? I knew about this for a while, but in naval architecture, a poop deck is a deck that forms the roof of a captain built near the rear or aft of the superstructure. The name originates from the French word for stern, la poupe, from Latin pupus. Thus, as the poop deck is technically a stern deck, which in sailing ships was usually elevated as the roof of the stern or after cabin, also known as the poop cabin or simply the poop. Huh. So I wonder if
So
that's...
it'd be more like peep.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that's where the term "I'm
Because it
poop"
comes
comes
from French. We had to have a E in there.
No, that doesn't correlate. I'm poop means you're tired.
Yeah, but right here, the poop deck is technically a stern deck, which in sailing ships was usually elevated as the roof of the stern or after cabin, also known as the poop cabin or simply the poop. So I'm pooped. I'm in the cabin. I'm tired. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching.
Well, I'm wondering if our
Maybe.
slang poop came because that's in the back or the stern of the ship, and you poop in the back of the stern of your body.
Maybe I'm pooped
Stretching
reference came from that. Originated from
The pooped about
the
pooped.
poop.
Let's see here. The adjective pooped or pooped out, meaning exhausted, is worn out, showed up in the early 20th century in U.S. English. Okay. The dictionary's earliest example of the colloquial verb is from a 1927 issue of the journal American Speech, poop out fizzle.
Oh,
Huh.
so it's way in the future.
Yeah. So I was completely off. So was a loon, but that was to be expected.
Yeah, I was guessing.
But you're not much more of a stretch than mine, to be honest. So
It's always fun to guess.
yeah. But let's see. What do we got here in 1667?
1667 state Highland obtained eternal edict.
Yeah, edict,
What is
edict.
You eat it. There you go. Eat
Yeah.
it.
Well, edict maybe, you know, like depends on.
I prefer eat it.
Yeah. The Perpetual Edict, or the Eternal Edict, was a resolution of the States of Holland passed on August 5th, you know, this year, but not this year, but this date in 1667, which was abolished, which abolished the office of stadholder in the province of Holland. At approximately the same time, the majority of provinces in the States General of the Netherlands agreed to declare the office of stadholder in any of the provinces incompatible with the office of Captain General of the Dutch Republic. But what was a stadholder? It was a steward.
Stadholder was a steward that was first appointed. Hold on. First appointed as a medieval official and ultimately functioning as a national leader. The stadholder was the replacement of the duke or count of the province during the Burgundian and Habsburg period.
All right. So this edict got rid of the stadholder, which the stadholder was something that got rid of, well, it replaced the duke or count. So
Yeah.
just time eternally marches forward and things change.
Mm.
Yeah.
It does seem kind of like a, I don't know,
like
stupid way of doing things. I don't know, when you kind of go against, what's that? The word retraces me. Oxymoron. It's like you automatically have someone in there as a placeholder. It's like, so you expect your guy to die. Like, you shouldn't be expecting your leader to die. Like, I don't know.
All right. What else do we have? 1689.
1689, 1500, Iraqis attacked the village of Lachine in New France.
I think that's pronounced Iroquois.
Oh, wait, Iraqis.
Iroquois.
Sorry.
Iraqis. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm like, I was thinking that myself. I'm like, how the fuck did Iraqis get to France in 1689? Was Iraq even a thing back then?
I mean, like, the area was there, but I'm
so
not
many
sure
questions
if the
were
state
going
of
through my
Iraq.
head as I read that.
Like, Iraqis, that's a weird way to pronounce Iroquois.
Hey, got my attention.
1772, first partition of Poland between Australia. I did it! Austria, Prussia, and Russia is made public. Austria.
Hey, don't beat yourself up, man. You know, it's the two letters are lack thereof. So I've done that mistake countless times. So, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. But yeah, so
just don't go surfing in Austria.
Are they? They're a landlocked nation, right?
I believe so.
I do think so. Yeah. No.
Hence the Hume.
Yes. I get it. Oh, that's interesting. The first partition of Poland. So, you know, Poland has just been getting.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's weird. Like, you know, as King said earlier in the show, like for whatever reason they took this out. From our main source here, it goes from 1716 to 1745, and I put this in here from this source last night.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's all like every day.
That happens more than you would think.
Yeah. So like.
At least I'm not there when you do it, so you make reference to
We're
it.
watching them change history, or try to, before our very eyes in real time. Yeah.
Manipulate history.
Well, not just manipulate, but like, you know, manipulate is taking something and changing it.
How about
they just got rid of
Trump
it.
assassination they're trying to cover up?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't happen.
I wonder why they would want to be covering up the partition of Poland. That's what angle are they trying to do? I don't know. But see, the other thing is, like, you know, I also think of the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were wrong in the dates and they took it out because it didn't happen on August 5th. It happened somewhere else.
No, that's
you
possible.
know, I don't know.
That's possible.
But there have been times where I've looked up the article just to verify it. It did indeed happen on that date. So I have caught them red-handed taking things out that was in there not 24 hours, not even 12 hours prior, that is now gone.
Really, that
You know? So
Maybe something in there was inaccurate, not necessarily the date.
well, no, but as I said, like I've looked up those articles and it is accurate.
Okay.
They just decided to take it out. Like it's weird. So, but I agree. You know, with King here, we really do got to get a website. You know, make our we tried that, and I couldn't figure out how to use it. GoDaddy does not give you really that many tools. Like they give you a whole bunch of stuff, but when you really look at everything, they don't give you anything. It's all you can choose this or this, and you have 55,000 options just for one thing, and it's just you really don't have a whole lot of tools to work with at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's a Potemkin village essentially. But what do we got here in 1775?
First Spanish ship, San Carlos, enters San Francisco Bay.
Ah. So, like, that's the first, not the first Spanish ship ever, but the first ship from Spain to get there.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty cool. 1781 here, we have the Battle of Dogger Bank, the Fourth Anglo-Dutch War. A British strategic victory, although both sides claim to have won. Okay, I wonder how that played out. Like, how can you claim to have won, if it was a decisive victory, strategic victory, whatever, like...
Well,
because
one of the sides was spinning it to look good. Or to create power, or whatever the reason.
Yeah. But see, at the end of the day, like the British, it says here strategic victory, so clearly it was the British who won.
According to the British.
According to the British. But who's the one who claimed the land at the end?
Well, the British.
Yeah, so that means that they won.
Yeah.
So, like, how can you spin losing land as a good thing? That's what boggles my mind. Because you're 100% right.
Yeah.
They'll spin it, but how can you spin losing land as a victory? How does that work? That's not how it works. So... anyway, 1812, during the War of 1812, Tecumseh's Native American force ambushed Thomas Van Horn's 200 Americans at Brownstone Creek, causing them to flee and retreat. And I wonder if, because we all know who, like William Tecumseh Sherman, Sherman's March to the Sea, but I wonder if his middle name is named after this Tecumseh, that's Native American.
Good question.
Because my middle name is named after a family friend.
Yeah.
Your middle name is named after your father.
Yeah.
So where.
That's what my middle name is.
Nice.
After my dad.
Nice.
There you go.
Let's see here. 1837.
1837, first ascent of St. Marcy, 5,344, Pius in Adirondack, New York.
All right. So that's roughly a mile, 5,344 feet.
Yeah.
How many
I
feet
never
to
heard
a
of
mile?
Adirondack, New York.
Neither have I. Convert feet to miles. So 5,280. So this is just over a mile up. So, Mount Marcy. Let's take a look at this here. Mount Marcy. Let's get an image. I don't want that. Okay, so it's this one, I presume. It's a mountain with mountain-like qualities and whatnot. No. And hey, we initially were talking about Poland. Now we get to talk about Oregon getting divided.
Or 1946, Oregon Territory divided between the United States and Britain on the 49th parallel.
Yep. So, the border.
Yeah.
1848, the first transatlantic telegraph cable landed at Trinity Bay in Newfoundland, spearheaded by Cyrus Westfield, and it will fail after 3 weeks. But it worked.
That's not good.
Well, I mean, I remember the first transatlantic cable, because we covered this a month or so ago, a couple months ago. It only transmitted what, 2, maybe 3 messages before it failed.
That I don't remember.
So it was very short lived. It only lasted for a week or something. It was very short lived. But hey, it's brand spanking revolutionary new technology. You know, it was more like it wasn't put in place to be a permanent thing. It was just done to see whether or not it could be done, and then it was discovered it could, and then we perfected that technology. And now we have telegraph, telephone, internet, wireless, satellite. Like so.
All of that is fallen by the wayside little by little as technology has progressed. Don't need cable anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, advancements of technology and whatnot. I mean, like, I saw a comedy bit a while ago, and it provided like a thought. How long before nobody knows what this means?
Yeah.
How long before nobody knows what this means?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some comedian, like he was doing a stand-up bit, and he pulled out his phone, to mimic being on the phone, and then he hung up his iPhone. Like, instead of doing this, like, he legitimately, like, he pulled out his phone. Like, he wasn't just pretending to have it. He had it in his hand, and then, like, he was mimicking, like, the end of the conversation. Oh, look at how out of touch I am. I just hung up an iPhone. Yeah. So, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild to think that, so many gestures.
But the window crank is all but gone.
Now, like, instead of doing this, now you're just going to be like, hey.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Wait, you want me to look down? Like, what? No, roll down your window. Roll down your window. Like,
hey, I remember cars. Power windows was an option. You paid extra for those.
Oh,
Same
dude.
with air conditioning. You paid extra for it.
Dude, I remember when I was a wee little lad, and I've been in cars without seatbelts. From back in the old days before they had seatbelts. So I've been, they're rocking and rolling. There's no AC. Yeah. There's no power steering. You roll down the windows. I've ridden in some real junkers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And kids these days just will not understand.
I remember still riding in the back of the truck going down the freeway.
Yeah.
Oh, a pickup truck bouncing in the bed.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the back of the truck.
I've
with
done
my
that
cousin,
too. That's great.
Going down the free wheel. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like, I remember distinctly because what was his name? Mark. Like the family used to have babysit me when I was a kid. Mark and his wife Julie.
Wow. What?
Their kids.
Yeah.
Timothy. No, Mark was the kid. Mark was the kid with.
I've forgotten their names. Holy cow! Yeah.
Tim was the little brother. Mark was the older one who had the disease. He had ALS or something, right?
Tim was your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then It wasn't Mark. It was something else.
It was Mark. But anyway, I remember he had because he had his own little country western band and everything. He had, and I remember getting in the bed of his pickup, and he told me every now and then, "Hey, stay down. Don't let the police see you." So I'm riding in the bed, bumping, but I'm laying down. Like I'm not sitting up. I'm laying down and bump. It was great.
Perhaps he wasn't the best choice for a babysitter.
Gee, you think? With that lady.
In hindsight.
That lady who chain smoked and she died of emphysema. Yeah. I'm over there. Yeah.
It gave him character.
Yeah, it gave me character. I mean, just like the rust on a carousel.
Yeah.
Or a sprinkler with you. What are you whimpering about?
Yeah.
My entire knee's exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains it. Kids don't know how good or not good they have it, these days.
Yeah.
So. Oh, speaking of good or not good, what do we got here in 1861? Actually, no, before that, there's this one, sorry. They're both 1861, so I was right and wrong at the same time.
In 1861, enlist the U.S. Union Army increases from 3 months to 2 years. Woo!
Oh, wow, I completely... Yeah. So that's a hell of a that escalated quickly. 3 months to 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Imagine you just signed up expecting only to do 3 months, and you're like, wait, how many years?
Yeah. I can do that for 3 months. Wait a minute.
Well, imagine
I made a mistake.
Imagine signing up on the last day for 3 months, and then the guy who comes in after you is doing it for 2 years.
Yeah, right.
And that must have created some extreme animosity in boot camp.
Oh, well, you just a 3-monther.
Yeah,
You're a 3B.
a 3B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just a 3-monther.
By the way, I'm loving this coin.
Good.
Like, have you seen what they're supposed to look like?
No.
Um, like, I looked this up because I was trying to take a picture of it, and I couldn't. Here we go. Signs of change. This is right here. Can you see
yeah.
it?
That's
So
it all done.
yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of want this one finished, but I kind of don't at the same time. You know, like
Well, it's unique that
it
way.
is exactly. You know. Anyway, back on track here. What else do we got here in 1861? We got two more.
1861, President Lincoln signs the first U.S. personal income tax into law. It's only 3% of incomes, and it's only temporary.
It's only
But
temporary.
3% for
3%
incomes over
temporary.
$800.
Not to worry about it, folks.
Totally-
It's just temporary.
Totally temporary. It'll never get any higher. Don't worry about it, folks.
You can trust me.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trust us.
Hey, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. 1861, U.S. Army abolishes flogging.
You know, I think we should probably bring that back. I don't know. You know, like, I mean, if you know, so many things that we're changing and we're getting rid of, over the past couple of years and stuff. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, things have been tried and true. For
We got a lot of
years.
things. We got rid of a lot of things that were forced to hold people accountable for their
Yes.
actions. We've gotten rid of a lot of that.
Yes, we have. Yep. 1862, we have the Battle of Baton Rouge in Louisiana. Union forces prevented a Confederate attempt to capture the city. Yeah. Baton Rouge. We also have a Battle of Mobile Bay in 1864.
No, wait.
What?
Sorry.
It was won by the Union Navy, led by Rear Admiral David Farragut, with the cry, and you'll remember this: "Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!"
Yeah.
So this is where it came from.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. That makes you wonder, like torpedoes.
Mobile Bay? What?
Yeah. Well, torpedoes, you generally, coincide those with submarines.
Yeah.
And whereas submersible warfare is not too outlandish, back in those times, it was not really a big thing. They had submarines as far back as the Revolution.
Right.
The Turtle. Don't forget about that.
Is that one man?
The one man thing, yeah, the Turtle.
Yeah.
And then they, of course, there is the I forgot what it was called, but there is that multiple man submarine they had during the Civil War.
Yeah.
And all that stuff,
Yeah.
where they got caught in the aftershock of their own explosion, and it liquefied their organs and they died. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, like explosions underwater have a much more devastating effect because
the
water
compression.
Yeah, exactly. So like what they did with the submarine, was it called the Hunley? I think I want to say the H.L. Hunley. Let me just look at it. H.L. Hunley. I think it was. Yes, it was.
Oh, good
This
call.
one here, the H.L. Hunley. Yeah. No. So right here, you can see. You see this mast coming out here?
Uh-huh.
What it did was it had a pull and it had the explosive at the end of it. And what it's supposed to do is they go up to an enemy ship, they attach the explosive, they disconnect it, and then they go away. But they weren't away far enough, and the explosion traveled through the water, and they got hit in the shock wave, and because they're in an open pocket of air within a compression thing. Now, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the exact science behind it, but the waves rattled around inside and liquefied their organs, so to speak, or whatever. They died.
Wow.
They died from the aftershock of the explosion.
So the structure didn't rip apart or anything?
No. It was found later on. Like this is how it was found. Like this is obviously after it was found and transported, but because they all died. It's intact. They all died, and the ship was intact. At the bottom of the water, and then they brought it out. But they all died because of the of the aftershock of the explosion. They didn't get far enough away. So like, because like, and they've even like they've done. I've seen videos on YouTube about this. If you're in proximity to a grenade, it's better to be like 5 feet away from it, diving on the ground, in open air, than it is to be 5 feet away from it in a pool. If you're in a pool, it'll do more damage to you because of the compression, as King said. How sound travels in the different environments, whereas in the air it's a lot more open, so it doesn't reverberate and affect you. So you have a higher chance of surviving a grenade explosion 5 feet away in open air than you would in water. Something like that. So,
side note track, do you think torpedoes do more damage in the lower depths? Like, lower depths.
With more compression?
The more compression, do you think they do more damage because it's more compressed down there?
I would say yes.
Deeper you go.
Yeah. I would say yes. It's negligible, but I would say
I'm trying to look it up here as you guys are talking. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you want, you can share your screen so that way we can also watch you live doing research or something. Like, you're kind of like my Jamie, in a way.
Hold on again. Share your screen.
While you're doing that, I'm going to take us on up here to, we got that, 1864, Spectrum of a Comet Observed for the First Time by Giovanni Dantai. But what is a spectrum of a comet? Let's look this up here. Spectrum of a comet.
I was expecting a name. That can't be the name of it.
What is a comet spectrum? Let's see if that... Here we go. A comet. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is telling me what a comet is, but what is the spectrum? I'm trying to find something that tells me... What the hell is the spectrum of a comet? Like, it's something to do... Okay, I have a diagram here. Let's see. Nucleus, coma... Well, this isn't telling me anything about spectrum. What's the spectrum of a comet? Somebody help me. Okay, well, what is spectrum of a comet?
There you go.
Yeah. On the spectra of comets, but that's something else. What type of spectrum does a comet produce? But what is a spectrum? What is this? I would like to know what kind of a spectrum is made by comets. I think it's absorption spectrum, because what we see as glowing comet is light from sun. But what is this? What is a comet spectrum? Spectrum of a comet. What is this? Or get rid of all that. Attached is a raw spectrum image of a comet.
Okay, so that's the spectrum of a comet. I'm not sure what we're looking at.
I'm not either. I'm just trying to figure out what does it mean? Like, this is providing us as examples, but we don't know what we're looking at.
I assume it's got to be the
Is
whole
it the trail?
the whole trail and everything.
Would that be the spectrum? Like, we need an astronomer.
It looks something like that. That's what I would guess it to me. The whole trail of it.
Yeah.
The spectrum.
But
the
then,
whole thing.
but then why not just call it the trail? We call it the tail too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that only happens when it gets progressively closer to a star, like because the heat is
Well, I think
burning.
if you look at the definition of the word spectrum, you'll find out what it means.
Spectrum definition. I mean, why not? So, is a condition that is not limited to a specific set of values but can vary without gaps across a continuum. Okay, that just makes it even more confusing. And now it's showing me a picture of a rainbow. Okay, we got.
Well, that's a spectrum, but that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
The spectrum is the comet to the whole tail,
Okay.
just like that rainbow.
Okay. So a perspective or something? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on up to 1874. Japan launched its postal savings system modeled after a similar system in England.
Oh.
All right. Cool. And then 1882, staying in Japan, martial law was imposed in Japan. Okay, that's a little weird. Well,
Yeah, that's not good.
martial law, whoops. 1882 as well, Standard Oil of New Jersey was established.
Oh.
It is not not Rockefeller, but who was the guy behind all the oil?
Yeah, Rockefeller.
Was it I thought But,
I think it was Rockefeller.
Well, then,
Rockefeller Senior, Standard Oil.
okay, then who was the one behind the steel? That was somebody else.
Yeah. I've lost it.
Because we've seen like the Men Who Made America, that show and all that. What?
Yeah.
So.
Rockefeller was oil.
Okay.
Steel was.
Who was the U.S. steel magnate? Carnegie. Carnegie. Okay, there we go.
Carnegie.
Right. Yeah, Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They donated that.
Donated, more like a tax write-off because they don't pay their
yeah.
fair share. They never have, and they never will. So, what do we got here in 1884?
Second year. 1884 cornerstone for the Statue of Liberty laid on Meadows Island, New York City.
All right, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
1890 British and French accord to divide African colonization.
Here we go, more dividing things.
Yeah. You take these slaves, we'll take these slaves. Right? 1891 world's first traveler's checks issued by American Express.
Traveler's checks.
All right.
They used to be really common.
Yeah.
If you were going somewhere, you got traveler's checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been in movies. Do you accept traveler's checks?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
You accept traveler's checks?
Yeah. That's funny. I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Yeah.
I've gotten traveler's checks.
Yeah, it was a Seth Green movie, wasn't it?
Maybe. Like, moving on up
He's
into
all rich and shit.
Yeah. Moving on up into the next 100 years, in 1900, in Russia, here we go again, anti-Jewish riots spread from Odessa into other parts of the country. But why? What's happening? What are the Jews doing to constantly get the boots? You know, they're not just sitting there and people just, oh, hey, let's hate Jews today. No, what's happening? Like, why did this happen? Why does this continue to happen? And why have we never been allowed to speak about it for hundreds of years? You know?
Why does Christianity kind of put aside that Christ was Jewish? I mean, they know, obviously, but they kind of put that aside.
Well, how come the Jews who admit that, you know, Jesus was a person but not the Savior, not apologize for murdering him?
They don't recognize him as the Savior.
You know, it doesn't matter, you know, whether or not he's a Savior. They still killed the guy. They acknowledged that he was a real person. They still killed him.
They didn't kill him.
They did.
The Romans killed him.
The Romans were Jewish.
Yeah.
The Romans and the Jews are the one and the same back then.
Okay, move on.
Anyway, 1901, Peter O'Connor of Ireland set the first officially recognized world long jump record at 24 feet, 11 3/4 of an inch in Dublin, Ireland. All right, so, you know, the start of record keeping. That's pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah. In 1905, we have the first meeting of the Russian and Japanese peace commissioners takes place in U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt's home in Oyster Bay, New York. Okay, that's pretty interesting. A Russian and Japanese peace meeting in the U.S. Well, that makes sense. You know, you want to have it in a neutral place.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of Japan, what do we got here in 1912? We have a lot of Japan stuff happening today.
1912, Japan's first taxi cab service begins in Ginza, Tokyo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go.
When it was a rickshaw.
1914, first electric traffic light installed in the USA on the corner of East 105th Street and Ulysses Avenue in Oakland. Okay. I have a question. When did we first start driving on roads versus how long it took us to put up traffic lights?
Well, that is a little bit of a convoluted history because, as we all know, like, you know, roads, there's dirt roads and there's cobblestone roads, and you know, cobblestone was the first, you know, pave and all that stuff, and that was mainly for horses and all that whatnot. And as we learned the other day, the railroad the actual tracks came before the train because the first practical railroad was for horse-drawn carriages on the rails.
Yeah, the wooden.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me just say this. As a very little kid, I still have memory of it. The traffic signs that came up, stop,
Oh, yeah,
down,
the
other go came up.
yeah.
Have memory of that.
And actually, those were designed after a railroad.
Oh, yeah,
Like
probably so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, like, you know, the
Makes
red, and it used to be just red and green, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, as you said with the flippers, and that was a railroad. So they took the traffic signals from the railroad to partially answer the question you asked, King. They implemented that for streets, you know, for traffic, you know, and all that stuff. And then later on down the line, they added the yellow light for yield.
Yeah.
And then now there's been talks of adding a white light for something to do with self-driving cars. So we might have 4 lights now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, the yellow one's bad enough because everybody runs it out here.
I know. It's like,
Runs like crazy.
yeah. Yeah, yellow is like, oh, hey, you have a timer, speed
Speed
up.
up.
Yeah.
I can make this. Go.
Now, you know what I do out of yellow?
What?
I slow down.
Ah, well, that's what you should do.
I've come to a full and complete stop out of yellow.
I get ready to stop. Well, you know, if you can make it, you can make it. But I'm not speeding up to try and make it.
Well, I'm not
I've
sure.
done all of the above.
I'm not breaking the law to try
Well,
to be.
now, I'm not
beat a-
sure how true this is, but from my understanding, if you enter an intersection while the light is yellow, but it turns red while you're still traversing, then that can be considered a running red light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to be heading out of
It's still got to be yellow
before
by
it
the
turns
time
red.
you
Yeah,
get under the light.
yeah,
If it turns red and you're in the middle of the intersection, you've run a red light.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
And you just,
that's
you just move your
why.
ticket.
Yeah, that's why I stop it, because there's been, not often, but if the light turns yellow, like depending on how far I am,
Right.
my speed, there's a whole bunch of factors, but I have come to a full and complete stop when the light is yellow, because
Yeah.
because
You're literally riding a death machine, like,
yeah,
and people get mad. Oh, I got a ticket for running a red light. Like, well,
Yeah.
maybe stop breaking the law on your death machine.
yeah,
And as far as accidents go, that's the most
Maybe.
dangerous thing you do is run those lights.
yeah. Like, I'm all for a smaller government. I'm all for less laws. I'm all for this. I'm all for that. But when it comes to driving, you cannot have enough laws. I want as much litigation as you can have on that thing, because driving is a privilege, not a right.
Anybody who's against that stuff should be the first ones out there scooping somebody's brains off the road.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, okay, you don't think it matters? Okay, well, you have to do this job for a week.
yeah. And then come back to me and try to say what you told me 5 minutes ago. Try, this is why I not to sound like a wife, but I am your son, and I am very concerned for your safety and well-being. I will never allow you to have a motorcycle.
Oh, God.
Like,
You do sound like a wife.
yeah,
I wanted one, and then my friend on one. So,
I've known
I was
two
like,
people.
nope, don't want one no more.
I've known two people who've been on motorcycles, and both of them have been in accidents. One of them, my friend, should have died.
Yeah.
Like, should
Stop sign.
he rode his face up a freaking signpost and knocked it off with his head. He should be dead.
Well,
That
that was way too much bike, and he had no experience
Yeah.
with a motorcycle at all.
Yeah.
He's got this huge bike with tons of power.
Going 40 into 25,
Yeah, but he popped it, and
Yeah.
he lost control immediately. Idiot.
Absolute. Yeah. And that was after he told me, like, oh, no, I used to ride motorcycles, or I rode a motorcycle once in Pakistan. I know what to do.
It's probably a scooter.
Yeah, no, it was. He said, like, he rode a motorcycle, a scooter, in Pakistan. I'm like, oh, well, what happened? What happened back then? Oh, I ran into a truck. I'm like, well, then it's maybe you should not be on 2 wheels. Like, you need 4.
No right to be on that kind of powerful
Yeah.
bike. No right.
Yeah. Anyway, what do we got here in 1914? Battle of Liege, the first battle of World War I. A massive German assault on forts around Belgium city of Liège, led by Erich Ludendorff. All right. And do you want to take this other 1914? Because I want to go on like another mini rant here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cuba.
Yes. Trying to find it.
Cuba, Uruguay, Mexico, and Argentina proclaimed neutrality in World War One.
Now, does anybody here remember the Zimmerman telegraph?
No.
So basically, the Zimmerman telegraph was Germany sent a telegraph to Mexico because they were neutral, and at the time the U.S. went from neutral to being active in the war. Because I think this was like in 1917 or something, because the U.S. entered, way late.
Yeah.
And everything. But Germany proposed to Mexico for Mexico to start some shit with the U.S. to get them distracted. Now, here's the weird kicker. Okay, there's so many levels, of what the hell, to the story. Number one, Germany used Allied lines of communication, as in not their allies but us. They sent Mexico that telegraph through the British telegraph system.
Oh, okay.
And as a way to try to hope, like, it'll go under the radar. They'll never think about,
A friendly telegraph.
Yeah. The Germans used the British telegraph lines,
So
as
it wouldn't be noticed.
Yeah. Well, it was noticed, and the British, though, they intercepted it, and they held on to it to be advantageous for them because they eventually did let it go, and Mexico got it, and then the U.S., of course, was made wind of it and all that stuff. But the British intercepted it, and they actually held on to it to be used as a tool to influence the U.S. even more to get into the war. It was used as a tool,
Yeah, okay.
And, of course, Mexico straight up said no. We're not going to do that. So, yeah. The Zimmerman telegraph, a wild story. People got to look that up here. But anyway, what else do we got here in 1914?
1914. Dutch court?
Yeah.
Dutch court Van de Linden government issues silver bonds as money.
Huh. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Silver bonds. Oh. 1914 as well, Montenegro declared war against Austria-Hungary in World War I. So more declarations and everything. And while that was going on, U.S. and Nicaragua signed treaty granting canal rights to the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
So the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I don't think that was Panama. Like, they were trying to make another canal somewhere else. So, I don't know. Because that's
Nicaragua.
That's Nicaragua, not Panama. Man, a lot of stuff happened in 1914. What else do we got? Wester Sheldy. Huh.
Sorry,
1914 Wester Sheldy?
1940 Wester Shelty leaves due to German invasion in Belgium.
And what? I left a comment here, who/what is/was that? And then that made me think, was, aren't those the pronouns of Thomas Crooks? Was. So, Western Scheldt. Oh, here we go. So, the Western Scheldt, or Wester Schelly in Dutch, is a province of Zeeland, Old Zealand, because we all know about New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wonders where Old Zealand is. Here it is. Zeeland, in the southwestern Netherlands, is the estuary of the Scheldt River. So this area in Zeeland left, although I don't know how a landmass can leave due to German invasion in Belgium. So I don't know. Something involving this, I don't know. Anyway, 1914 as well. During the First World War, Field Marshal Lord Kitchener was appointed Secretary of War after British declaration of war on Germany. All right. Breaking out of the 14s, moving into 15, the Latin American Conference convened in Washington with representatives from leading South American nations joining the U.S. to discuss conditions in Mexico. So yeah, Mexico was very destabilized and all that stuff. And actually, I remember I believe in the 30s, Mexico actually has a revolution. So I'm not.
I have no idea.
I remember that from the game Hearts of Iron. Mexico always has some revolution, like in the early game. 1915 as well. Warsaw was evacuated which was evacuated by the Russians, was then occupied by the Germans at this time. So Warsaw and Poland.
Yeah.
1917, the entire U.S. National Guard was taken into national service, subject to presidential rather than state control. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the National Guard is yet another example of the federal government taking things from the states and.
Yeah.
So, And 18, during the First World War, the last German air raid on England occurred, with 4 Zeppelin airships dropping bombs in the Midlands and northeast England. All right. Let's move on up into the 20s. What do we got here?
1921, KDKA Pittsburgh presents first radio broadcast of MLB Pirates beat Phillies 8-0. Harold Ireland, first play-by-play broadcaster.
Cool. So the first radio broadcast of MLB.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
1921, Treaty of Berlin. U.S. and Germany signed separate peace treaty.
So it has to obviously be after the war, so it's their own little separate thing.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's a Hard Knock Life, I think. Maybe I'm getting my IPs confused. 24.
Little Orphan Annie comic strip by Harold Gray is first published in the New York Daily News.
Isn't that where It's a Hard Knock Life comes from, Annie?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You know that song, right?
Yeah, I know the
It's
song.
a hard knock life
Yes.
for us. I gotta avoid hitting the table. I might shut my computer down again. But that was from Annie, right?
I have no idea.
Let's look it up. Where did It's a Hard Knock Life come from? It's a Hard Knock Life. Yada yada.
It's a hard knock life.
Yeah, from Annie. So yeah.
There you go. Okay. Well, Annie was born in 24.
Yeah, 1924. 100 years ago.
On this day.
On this date. Yeah. And actually, I want to bring in your
She's
idea.
not so little anymore.
I think she's dead. I mean, she might be little. You could have, cremated her, and now she's back to small. Cremation is just, zip filing a human, essentially.
Zip filing?
Yeah, you know what a zip file is, right?
Yeah.
Compression.
Yeah.
That's what cremation is. You're zip filing a human.
Wow.
Am I wrong? I mean, I'm dark, but am I wrong? There was something else I wanted to say.
You started doing, I interrupted you.
Oh, well, no, well.
Lost it.
Moving up into 1925, Plaid Sibiru is formed with the aim of disassembling or disseminating knowledge of the Welsh language, which is in danger of dying out. So they're trying to keep the language alive. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 26, French and German trade agreement was signed. All right, so they're. What was the line? It was from Eurotrip, right? France is a suburb of Berlin or something. That was a line. It was Eurotrip when they got in that truck and they ended up in Bratislava, or something like that. Yeah. 1926 as well. Harry Houdini stayed in a coffin underwater for 1.5 hours before escaping. Wow, that's a long time.
It's amazing how his names live through time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is almost 100 years ago when he did this stunt.
Oh yeah, no, that reminds me. The idea you had about 1 century ago, Oka. Remember about making YouTube shorts and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about implementing that into the actual show, so we could have a small portion. 1 century ago, Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah. So it would be anything in 1914.
1924.
1924. Yeah.
It is. It's right here.
What is that?
Well, we'll get to that here in a second. 1927. King, your turn.
1927, Phillies outfielder Cy Williams hits for cycle and just 4 at-bats in 97 win against Pirates.
Ah. So if it's versus the Pirates, do we call it the plank? Versus the line or the cycle? Like, gonna have me walk the plank here in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And to answer the Loon's question, what is this? So.
It's like a giant. Oh, it is a balloon.
It is.
Now I look closer. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know. That's me.
1930 Norwegian Bradbag expedition finds the remains. Diaries and negative images of S.A. Andre's ill-fated balloon polar expedition of 1897 on White Island in the Svalbard Archipelago.
Archipelago. But yeah, no, I think we spoke about this ill-fated expedition a couple weeks back.
Oh, really?
Because it said something about, I remember, or maybe I saw a video about a guy traveling by balloon and didn't come back, and here he is. So, 1932. Oh, here we go.
Clyde Barrell and two associates kill Sheriff C.G. Maxwell and his deputy Eugene C. Moore for the first time. The Barrell gang kills a lawman.
So, he shot the sheriff and he shot the deputy. Yep. 1936, here we go again.
Yeah.
U.S. athlete Jesse Owens won the 200 meter in a world record time of 20.7 seconds. His third gold medal at the Berlin Olympics. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Eat your heart out, Hitler. It's 36 as well. Italian athlete Ondina Valla ran a world record 11.6 in the semifinals of the 80 meter hurdles at the Berlin Olympics. Won final the next day, but could not match the time. So, all right.
So was the first time a world record?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it say world record?
It says runs a world record,
Oh, okay.
11.6 in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So, but she still won, but she didn't make a record.
Right.
So.
But she still held the record.
Yeah. For the time until it was broken, if it was broken.
It has been.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look it up.
Well, I would, but like for the sake of time, I intentionally not look certain things up.
I believe they're under 10 seconds flat.
Okay.
Well under.
I mean, maybe. Like, I'm not going to argue against it. Like, so.
I can't give you the time, but I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah. 1940, acquaintance blew up Zandvoortse synagogue. What the hell is that, and why is it in quotations?
I don't know.
Yeah, is that a terrorist organization? And that's really early for one. 1940. Let me do a surface level scratch of this. Okay, so this is just telling me. This is not telling me anything. So, whoever knows anything about acquaintance, that's weird. We got some baseball in 1940 as well.
Acquaintance blows up Zandvoortse synagogue.
Yeah.
Not
good.
Yep.
That's a weird name for a terrorist group.
Yeah.
1940, St. Louis Browns pitcher John Whiteland no-hits Detroit Tigers 4-0 in 6 innings. Rain shortened.
John
Why
White.
is that in there? I mean, what's the importance of that?
The name Whitehead. That's a strange name. What is he? A zit? Like.
Oh man.
I mean, don't pressure him too much. He might pop. Like,
Wow.
Yeah. What else do we have?
British government cancels argument of Munich.
Agreement.
Munich.
Yeah. Of Munich, which we know Munich is in Germany.
Yeah.
Munich.
Yeah. Well, the Munich Agreement was an agreement reached in Munich on September 30th of 1938 by Nazi Germany and the United Kingdom. Okay, well that would do it. It was the Nazis.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the name. Not the name. Look at the date, and look at the British Germany 42. All right, you could.
Well, I gotta say a word. Most likely, it's an appeasement to the Germans.
Not by 42.
That is
Absolutely not by
yeah,
42.
You're right. Right. I thought it was,
No, they canceled the agreement.
Yeah, I thought they said 30 something.
Yeah, no.
Oh, they canceled the agreement.
The agreement, okay, the Munich agreement was an agreement reached in Munich on September 30th in 1938.
Okay, then.
But then 4 years later, they canceled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was to appease them.
Right.
But then later they're like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
And hey, you know, like we gotta do that same activity towards China. You know, like they're a cancer. Like we gotta stop appeasing them. So.
Well, Trump single-handedly in his first term changed the attitude towards China completely in this country.
Yeah. Well, like what have I been saying about my comparison? You know, Biden to Neville Chamberlain, Trump to Churchill. You know, like. And hey, you know, Churchill, you know, is no saint. Like, you know, like he was a terrible person. He just so happened to be on the right side. Well, the same thing could be said about Trump. You know, he's no saint. Like, so.
Hey, we don't need a saint.
No. Well, we don't need we don't need a lot of things.
We don't need a human saint.
Yeah. What do we need, a dog saint or something? Like Saint Bow Wow? I don't know. Anyway, what else do we got? 1943. Where are you? Here you go. You want to take it?
1943, World War II, at around 11 a.m. during the Battle of Triana, Mount Etna erupts, sending ash and lava miles into the sky.
Dude, that's literally something out of a COD map. Like there's a military engagement happening, and in the middle of a battle, a volcano goes off. Like
pretty weird.
What?
Yeah.
Like, that's almost like a video game scripted event or something, like the Megalodon in that one map or something. 1944, German forces began the mass killing of between 40,000 and 50,000 Polish civilians in the Wola district of Warsaw during the uprising. Now, it doesn't say specifically Jews or this or that or whatever, it's just civilians, everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But nobody talks about them, you know? 1947, Netherlands ceased political action in Indonesia due to UN pressure. Like, that's... wonder why. What's going on?
What do you mean by action?
Political action. The Rainville Agreement, okay? It was a United Nations Security Council brokered political accord between the Netherlands, which was seeking to reestablish its colony in Southeast Asia. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the major things after World War II was no more colonization. Yeah. That era of the world is over.
Yeah.
Even though we still have colonies like, you know, the Philippines and Puerto Rico and, you know, many other places. You know, rules for thee, not for me type of situation. So, and, you know, the United Kingdom, you know, British getting away with it technically, you know, under a name, so that way they can cling with an iron fist to the last vestiges of their empire, which is Scotland and Ireland. So, just let them go. Yeah. What do we got here in 1948?
1948, Cleveland Indians set club record for most double plays in a game, 6 and 3-0 win against Washington.
All right.
6 double plays.
Yeah.
You know what a double play is?
A play times 2?
You get, well, there's somebody on base, obviously.
Okay.
So you get, out of one play, a guy hits the ball.
Okay.
You get 2 outs. Maybe you got him out first and then second is the most common.
Oh, that's a heartbreak right there.
Yeah. Triple play is getting 3 outs on one hit.
Yikes.
Those are very uncommon.
Well, today's world, triple plays are extremely common in relationships.
True.
And one more article here in the 40s. We relaunched this.
1949, 6.4 earthquake strikes Turgurahua Province, Ecuador, killing 5,000 people.
Population density. 1953, From Here to Eternity, based on book by James Jones, directed by Fred Zimmerman, and starring Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, and Frank Sinatra, was released. Later received the Academy Awards Best Picture in 54. Yeah, you remember that movie, I assume?
I do.
Like, yeah. That's why it's in there, really. Like, it's kind of my version of fan service towards Saloon.
Oh, okay.
You know, like you know, sometimes, not even sometimes, oftentimes I put in articles, as I said, that are interesting. It's not just historically significant. I'm providing service. I put in baseball for King here. So
here's what's I remember Burt Lancaster in it very clearly. I don't remember Frank Sinatra being in that movie. So there you go. I mean, it's just memory,
Yeah. Well, by 53, you're only 7 years old.
I saw it in later years.
Yeah.
It's not from the original
year
of its release.
Maybe he had some small part, but just because of his celebrity, that's why he's getting a credit. Maybe just some random one scene, part or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably did more than that, but Lancaster was the focal point of the movie.
Yeah. 1957, American Bandstand premiered on network TV, ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 57 as well, the comic strip Andy Cap made its debut. All right.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay. 58, Philip Kapleau, Zen teacher, first awakening under Yasutani Roshi. Do you know anything about that? You got to get back into meditating.
Yeah. Yeah. Be good.
Yeah. What do we got here in 59?
1959, 42.4 centimeters rainfall in Decatur, Colorado, Iowa. Decatur, what is that? Decatur, Iowa.
I think it's a company city. Decatur County. So
County. Okay.
Okay.
Decatur County, Iowa. That sounds better.
Yeah. What is 42.4 centimeters? Let's take that to 2 inches. Let's see here. Centimeters to inches. 16.69 inches of rain in Iowa. But what is that? In a day, in an hour, in a minute, in a month? It's not telling us. It's just saying how much rain, but over how much elapsed time is the question. It's a state record, so. 1959 as well. Because you're looking that up, right? I assume.
No.
Oh, okay. I heard clicking. I thought you were looking it up. What else do we got here? Some football. Football, boy.
Football.
Oh, yes. Chicago Cardinals NFL beat Toronto Argonauts CFL 55-26. Why they keep doing this?
Yeah.
And a preseason exposition at CNE Stadium, Toronto.
The 55-26 is
This is embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, but it sounds like because they were up in Canada in an exhibition game. That's the point.
All right. 1960, Burkina Faso, formerly Upper Volta, declared independence from France. All right. 61, 118 degrees Fahrenheit or 48 Celsius. That's pretty toasty.
Yep.
Ice Harbor Dam, very unfitting name. In Washington, this is their state record. Well, that's pretty hot. Where is Ice Harbor Dam in Washington?
Toasty.
You were going to say something?
I don't know. Yeah, I was just going to say for Washington, that's really hot. It's got to be, especially.
Okay, so it's up here. So it was recorded at a dam, like water dam.
Can you pull? Yeah, no, we got that part, but I'm just wondering if it's inland, because Washington get a lot hotter inland as opposed to the coast.
Well, let's see. What is this map here? Load. There you go. Okay, so this is just giving us the whole system here.
So where's the dam?
Open image and new tab. Well, let me bigger this photo if it'll let me. Here we go. So it was the ice water dam.
Yeah. I think it's over here somewhere. To the left.
Here it is, Ice Harbor down here.
Oh, so it is pretty. Oh, so it is on the eastern portion.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the border with Idaho.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, so it can get a lot hotter inland like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, that's hot.
That's hot. Oh, not to sound like Will Smith. That's hot. However his stupid laugh is. We got another football one here in 61 if you want to take it.
1961, Bears beat Montreal Lotus CFL 34-16 in preseason exhibition at Molson Stadium, Montreal.
For the Montreal Alouettes. Alouette, gentil Alouette, Alouette, gentil Alouette. However the song goes. Have some space stuff here in 62. If you want to take it.
1962, first quasar located by radio.
That's pretty cool. Now, who knows what a quasar is?
I was just going to ask, what is it?
A quasar, as we all
Something in space.
Yes, but it's specifically this. Like, it's a quasar is an extremely luminous active galactic nucleus. It is sometimes known as a quasi-stellar object, abbreviated to QSO. The emission from an AGN, or active galactic nucleus, is powered by a supermassive black hole with a mass ranging from millions to tens of billions of solar masses. So a solar mass is... One solar mass is our sun.
Yeah.
That's our solar mass.
Yeah.
So, you know, surrounded by... So quasar is the beam, I believe. Like, that comes out. Extremely luminous active galactic nucleus. So, you know, right here.
Yeah.
Like, come on, load the image. Come on. There we go.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a quasar. I think the jets actually are called something else. But yeah, like, so, and it was discovered by radio, not observation, but by sound.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know? Oh. What else do we got here? Here we go.
1962, Nelson Mandela arrested for incitement and for illegally leaving South Africa. How do you illegally leave a country?
Well, he was forbade to leave because of his involvement in politics and the apartheid stuff and all that whatnot. You know, they wanted to keep him there. Like, no. And one more, 62.
The UN commands forbids flights to Congo, break away Catanese airport.
Huh. So, like, you know, they're forbidding flights to the Congo and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
a lot of conflict there, so that makes sense. 1 year later, in 1963, Britain, USA, and USSR signed a nuclear test ban treaty.
SALT treaty, right?
I don't think
No, that's not, no.
That's start, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is a SALT treaty.
Yes, there is.
SALT treaty.
Came later.
What does it stand for? Strategic Arms Limitation Talks. Okay.
Yeah.
So SALT.
What's the date of that? Does it say?
Let's see
Does it
here.
say?
Well, it will. I think. Yeah, here we go. 69.
So it was a little bit later.
Yeah. And then there's a START, Strategic Arms Reduction
Yeah.
Act. And this is Strategic Arms Limitation Talks. So it's the same thing, just different words. And 1960.
Well, one's limiting and one's reducing.
Yeah. Well, isn't that the same thing?
No.
Reducing and limiting?
Limiting, you
Oh,
can't
yeah,
go farther
yeah.
than this. Reducing is making it smaller.
Yeah. True. 1964, the Beatles recorded a cover, or they recorded the cover for Little Willie John's "Leave My Kitten Alone," which was not released until 1995 at Anthology 1. So 31 years.
Never heard that.
Huh. Pretty sure.
Is that the one they found or something, and someone put it together? He was doing a piano thing in his apartment or something?
No. That was much later. That was the one that released a couple years back
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's pretty recent. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It's true, or something. I know it's true. Or whatever that song is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We also have in 1964, the U.S. began bombing North Vietnam in response to the real and imagined attacks on U.S. Navy ships in the Gulf of Tonkin. So here we go again.
Imagined attacks.
And imagined attacks. So false flag. 66. Martin Luther King Jr. was stoned during Chicago March.
Ooh.
Now, I don't think we're
that.
talking about marijuana. So,
No.
No, they were throwing stones at him. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, like, you know, you'd be surprised at the ignorance of people today. You know, they'd be like, "Oh, well, he was stoned during the Chicago March. Oh, well, of course he's black." It's like, no, stop it.
Actually,
You know?
with the black left, the Marxist left, I guess you not like him. They would rather bury his remembrance, do away with honoring his birthday. It's a national holiday.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't believe in what he believed in.
Well, don't forget about that black woman, black supremacist who tried to burn down his childhood home in Chicago that one time, and she got caught.
Sounds logical. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they'd do.
Yeah. But she was probably going to try to blame it on the white man and all that crap. So like, but what else? Oh, I'm gonna read this, and I expect you to sing along. Okay.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, it will. 1966, the Beatles released the single "We All Live
In a yellow submarine.
a Yellow Submarine"
Yellow submarine.
with Eleanor Rigby in the UK.
Oh yeah.
So,
Eleanor Rigby.
yeah. Breaker, breaker, beaker, beaker. Isn't that part of the song?
No. You're on your own on that
Well,
one.
no, you used to sing like breaker, breaker, whatever.
You're on your own.
No, hold on a second. Let me.
Eleanor Rigby?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yellow
Submarine.
Submarine. It's part of the lyrics to Yellow Submarine.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Whatever it
You're
is.
talking about the song Eleanor Rigby.
No, I have no idea who the hell that is.
That's the name of the album.
Oh,
but there's
okay.
a song Eleanor Rigby, and that's
Ah,
I
okay.
started to sing it.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not. Well, I am
No,
crazy.
you're not. I was on a different song.
Okay.
I'd moved on.
All right. What else do we got here in '66? Here we go. You know what? Let me read this. I'm going to read this because this goes to the next level. This is incredibly British. I'm learning it from you, Dad. I learned it from you.
The loon did it again.
West Indies cricket captain Garfield Sobers. Listen to this. Well, West Indies cricket captain Garfield Sobers scored 174, including a century between lunch and tea, to set up fourth Test win versus England and Headingley. Between lunch and tea.
Cricket.
I mean, but like that article is so British. They did it between lunch and tea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're giving you a timeline.
Like,
what a way to give it.
It's like, I mean, British. Like the British. But what do we got here in 1967? Here we go. Oh, he vanished. 1967, Bobby Gentry released her only hit, "Ode to Billy Joe."
Oh, yeah. That was a biggie.
Yeah. I wonder how long. Oh, there he is.
What the hell?
One-hit wonder.
Did your entire computer just die or something? What happened?
I don't know.
You disappeared and then you went offline and.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
Well, while you're getting resituated, I'm going to take this next 67 here. We have the first exhibition after AFL-NFL merger. Denver Broncos of the AFL surprised the Detroit Lions of the NFL 13-7 at University of Denver in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. 1969, Mariner 7 flew past Mars. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And 1969 as well. Have you caught back up to us, King?
Willie Stargell.
What the fuck did you just post? Oh my God.
Jeez.
Talk about an eye-popping experience right there.
What are we on?
1969, Pirates.
Willie Stargell.
Yeah.
Pirates outfielder Willie Stargell smashes first and longest home run ever hit out of Dodger Stadium. The incomparable shot off Alan Foster measures 506 feet.
That's impressive.
I saw the Pirates play the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium.
Oh, so you saw this?
Not that game.
Oh, okay. But you have seen them.
Yeah, he was a powerful hitter.
Yeah. And this guy again with his antiquated hat that confuses me, time-wise.
It must have been a throwback day wearing old uniforms.
It has to be.
Yeah,
like
that for sure is.
Because I'm looking at that. It's black and white. It's old. He's a baseball player. He's wearing the old uniform. But that was back during the time of segregation. But this is 1969. This is at the end of all that.
No, that's a throwback hat. That's from old.
It has to be.
Yes, it is.
Like, okay. Now this next one confused the hell out of me. 1970.
A U.S. Black Pea Panther leader, Huey Newton, freed from jail after 2 trials ended, and a hung jury at the district attorney decides against a 4th trial.
Okay.
Huey Newton, Black Panther.
Yeah, but why is it Black Pea Panther? Where's the
That's
pea come
what
from?
I was thinking.
Like, that sounds like a human, but it's not.
That looks like a typo.
Huey P. Newton.
But there's a P and a period.
Oh,
Okay,
they put in the initial in the wrong area, so it's Huey P. Newton, not Black Pea Panther.
Yeah.
Good job.
Ah.
Okay, so I remedied that situation. Wow. You'd think, they would double check just to, this being a source of history, they wouldn't make such an amateur mistake after it being up for so long.
Yeah.
And they do, they do things, maintenance on this every day, because almost every day, as we spoke about earlier, they change things.
I'm going by memory here, and I'm changing the topic just a little bit, but there was a rock group called Huey Newton in the News. I wonder if that relates to Huey P. Newton.
I would assume so.
I never thought about that. Never thought about connecting the dots.
I wonder if they are connected. I would be surprised if they weren't.
I've even got the Huey Newton part, but I believe I do.
Well, Huey Newton.
That's memory.
Well, now I was gonna make a joke. Let me turn off my mic. Bad joke.
Yeah,
Bad
very
joke.
Bad. Very bad.
So, what else do we got here? 1972.
Detroit Tigers shortstop Ed Brinkman commits an error, ending a record streak of 72 games and 331 total chances without a misplay.
Man, what is this guy, a robot? Like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, errorless, all that stuff. What else happened in 72? Where'd it go? Here we go.
Moody Blues reissued their 1967 single, Nights in the White Satin.
That album was a great album. Oh, go ahead, finish.
And it reaches number 2 on the U.S. charts, higher than the initial release.
Now, what is it you just said? You gotta, elevate your voice a little bit, too.
No, well, I interrupted him. That was a great album.
Yeah.
Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues, yeah.
I've heard of it.
Great album.
Yeah.
It's very orchestrative rather than rock and roll.
Orchestral.
Never heard of an album outselling itself.
Which, by the way, have you heard the orchestral version of the Home Depot theme?
I don't think so, no.
No. Home Depot orchestral. Because we all know about the Home Depot thing,
Yeah.
You've heard it on the commercials and everything.
Yeah.
Now, this one dials it up to 11. Let me play this really quick. If that music doesn't get you pumped to do some home improvement, I don't know what will.
What was the movie where the two guys were in the back with the music bobbing their heads?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. The Roxbury.
The Roxbury.
How can you forget about the Roxbury?
I saw that in the theaters.
Lucky. Oh man, dude! I had this friend named John, and he and I used to we rented that movie from Blockbuster.
It was pretty good.
Oh,
so
dude!
You could do your heads like that.
Well, we didn't do it just for that. I mean, but that was the catchy thing. But no, we saw that movie on repeat so many times. We rented it from Blockbuster. There were multiple times, one after another. We walked in to return it. Can I rent it again? Okay, here's $5. I'll see you next week. It didn't go through the system. We just showed up. Here's a tape. Here's $5. See you next week. Goodbye. It was great. Like, we saw that movie so many times. I can probably write the screenplay for the damn thing right now out of memory.
That's reminded me. You're bobbing head.
It wasn't a traditional bobbing head. It was
yeah.
You gotta do the side bob.
Yeah.
So,
I always forgot to take them back. I had so many fines.
late fees and all that stuff.
Like I'm probably one of those people that helped Blockbuster close because I never paid my late fees ever.
Actually, I have something in my wallet. Where is it? It's somewhere in my wallet. Right here. It's technically not mine, but I'm pretty sure the actual owner of it would not mind me having it. But Blockbuster card.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So now,
Those are gonna be worth.
How'd you get
Those will be
somebody
worth
else's
money
card?
someday. Watch.
what name is on it?
I can't see. I don't have glasses.
It's yours.
Oh.
I stole your card. So, but now, if I ever, go to buy alcohol and they want to card me, I just got to pull this out, and I'm good. So, and I'm well over the legal drinking age.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But what else do we got here? 1973?
I'll be back.
Okay. 1973 here, 15-year-old Australian swimmer Stephen Holden smashed Mike Button's 1,500-meter world record by a massive 14.78 seconds. 15 minutes, 37.8 seconds in Brisbane. So
That is smashing it.
that is crazy.
That's really breaking it. You're usually talking seconds, even of a long
Yeah.
race like that.
14, that's almost a quarter of a minute right there. Just right underneath it.
It's almost 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's a quarter of a minute.
You're right.
Yeah. I could see you trying to think of some kind of shit
It
talk.
didn't come to me.
Is-
Nothing came to me, and I moved on.
1973, Atlanta Braves pitcher Phil Niekro.
Necro.
Phil Niekro. Yeah, well, that sounds, very close to a certain word that I'm not allowed to say because of the color of my skin.
Phil Necro.
No hits San Diego Padres 9-0, first no hitter for franchise in Atlanta.
Yeah, how about
All right. 1974, Joan Jett formed her rock group Runaways in England.
Joan Jett, yeah.
Yeah. 74 as well, U.S. President Richard Nixon, I am not a admitted he withheld information about Watergate break-in. Yep.
And the tapes.
Yep. 75, Philadelphia Phillies create an MLB record with when first 8 batters got hits off Bill Bonin, defeated the Cubs 13-5. Get him off the pitcher's mound.
So what you're
He
telling
sucks.
me, they got the 9th batter out, which is the pitcher.
Oh, wow.
Everybody got a hit but the pitcher.
That's a hard break. But that just means the other pitcher just sucked horribly.
Well, pitchers, they don't give pitchers batting practice or anything. So they're not generally a good hit. Although Drysdale was one of the best hitting pitchers of all time. They used him as a pinch hitter sometimes.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
1975, Stevie Wonder signed a 7-year, 7-album with $13 million advance contract with Motown Records. Damn.
Now, here's a little something for you. At a sock hop,
What's a sock hop?
it's a high school dance after football games or whatever.
Okay.
Sock hop's even an old term for those days. They weren't called that. But anyways, we had Stevie Wonder there, but he didn't go by Stevie Wonder.
Little Stevie Wonder.
Little Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was still a kid.
Let's see here. 1978, the first all-seater stadium is opened in Aberdeen, Scotland. Aberdeen and London club Tottenham Hotspurs play a friendly to inaugurate the Pittodrie Stadium. What the hell does that mean? Played a friendly? Like,
Oh.
huh. That's strange. 79, Philadelphia Phillies third baseman Pete Rose collected National League record 2,427th career single in a 5-2 home loss versus Pirates.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. Setting records for most hits. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's not because of his gambling thing, right?
Yeah, when he was a manager.
Yeah.
On his own team.
He needs to be at least adjacent, like. Oh. 79 as well. Willie Mays, Warren Giles, I think, and Hack Wilson, speaking of Hall of Fame, are inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he was such a great fielder and hitter. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I hated that guy. He played for San Francisco.
Now, I just gotta say, I've beaten this joke to death, but I just have to say it. This picture of Willie Mays reminds me of every time you're trying to find your glasses. I can't seem to find them. Where are they? Huh? They're on your face. What? Huh? Oh.
Give me a break.
I don't have a Kit Kat.
Please. Next.
What do we got in 1980?
Montreal Expos Dick Williams wins his 1,000th career game as manager in 11-5 win versus Mets, for whom Doug Flynn hits MLB record tying 3 triples.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and here we go. We spoke about this a couple days ago.
Ronald Reagan, yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
1981, that was when I was born. U.S.
Yeah.
President Ronald Reagan fires 11,500 striking air traffic controllers.
Huh.
They didn't think he would do it. He said, screw it. You're gone. I said you'd be gone, you're gone.
You know, it's things like
And he
this.
didn't hire him back.
Yeah.
We got a whole new system. The ones that came back before he fired them all, they kept their jobs. Everywhere else they had to retrain and, get everybody going.
You know, it's things like this that, that makes me double think, like, the whole concept of, let's all stop paying taxes. They can't arrest us all. Okay, bet. Like,
Yeah. You really think that?
you know what? They'll just start systematically killing us all, shooting us like dogs in the streets until, what's left starts to obey,
They won't put you in jail. They'll just
shoot you.
compound your money.
Yeah.
You'll be broke.
Yeah.
Compound, confiscate.
Yeah. Well, very much like what's his face up in Canada, Fidel Castro's son did in the truck drivers. Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
That
how
was
dare you want basic human decency? I'm going to freeze your bank accounts.
He just attacked them. No, government has no right to do that.
You
Not
want
a
to talk?
free government.
You want to talk about someone who's literally Hitler? Stop yelling about Trump. Start yelling about what was his name? Justin Trudeau. Trudeau. Yeah, he's literally Hitler. Oh.
Showed his true colors on that one.
Yep. And he also, there's a picture of him in blackface and everything. He's incredibly racist.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not gonna knock anybody for doing something like that. When they're
well, no. If you're gonna if you're gonna use crap like that to go after people politically, then do it across the whole board, not cherry picking.
Fortunately, we have a constitution, and you can't get away with that here.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, you can if you're on the left. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1984. Actually, no. 1983. Sorry.
The American rock singer David Crosby sentenced to 5 years in Texas State Prison on drug and weapons convictions. Boo.
Uh-oh.
Boo. Let me have my drugs and my guns.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah.
What a great combo, drugs and guns.
Actually,
I paid for it.
Yeah.
Very much like PETA. Because I'm a member of PETA, People Eating Tasty Animals.
Yeah, me too.
Did you have a job interview with PETA or something like that?
No.
PETA, but they were...
That was Instacart, and they were giving me an interview, and then
You smell like meat.
she smelt the burger I had eaten, and then she accused me of being a seal clubber. It was wild.
It was awful.
And the interview was taken in a Starbucks. Literally, we went into a Starbucks and we had a job interview for Instacart. And it was very weird. Yeah. But as I was saying, very much like how I'm a strong supporter of PETA, People Eating Tasty Animals. I'm also a strong supporter of LGBT, liberty, guns, beer, and
Titties.
titties. Thank you. There's another version that says Trump, but I'm not fully on board with Trump, but yeah.
I'm fully on board with titties, though.
Woo boy, yeah. What else do we got here? 84. Now we're in 84.
American Joan Bennett wins first Olympic marathon for women. It's 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 52 seconds ahead of Great Weights of Norway of the Los Angeles Games.
All right. So she won the first Olympic marathon for women. Cool inauguration.
That is
really
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
And I've seen her face multiple times. So she has quite a bit of articles. Oh wow, look at all that.
Yeah.
Oh. You go.
Athlete.
You go, girl. 1984 as well, U.S. super hurdler Edwin Moses won the 400-meter hurdles gold medal at the L.A. Olympics. His 105th consecutive race victory. Holy crap.
Yeah.
105 consecutive. Not just he has those victories. No, that
Not
one after
lifetime.
another.
That's considered not lifetime.
Like, yeah. I wonder what his lifetime accomplishment was. Oh, that's a good question.
Could be 105. He didn't make it, on the 105th.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we can look it up.
No, don't look it up.
Edwin Moses victories. Victories. So let's see here. Edwin Moses lifetime. Well, let's see here. He has 107 consecutive. He has 122 consecutive races.
Oh, jeez.
So wow, yeah. So what was his total? It's not telling me. Well, it's somewhere out there. If anybody wants to let us know in the comment section, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, so this is not even his finished consecutive. What else do we got? 84, the rowing competition.
Rowing competition at the LA Olympics concludes with Romania dominant in the women's section, winning 5 of 6 gold medals. U.S. wins the 8th from Romania.
All right, so cool.
I wonder where they held that. I mean, that's got to be some, maybe like Bologna Creek or something coming in off the ocean. They got to have some long waterway.
Maybe the LA River?
No, Long Beach. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Long Beach, yeah.
Okay. So you answer your own question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uno Mas, 84.
Toronto designated hitter Cliff Johnson hits MLB record 19th career pinch hit. And HR and Blue Jays 4-3 win over the Baltimore Orioles.
I know you know what HR means.
Home run.
Yeah. Not human resources.
I know.
No.
Unlike Ron Burgundy, I just read whatever's on the damn screen.
Well, what's the difference between Ron Burgundy and Joe Biden in that instance? Because isn't there an instance of Joe Biden reading comma parentheses
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pause.
Pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
1985, we have the establishment of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was announced.
Ooh,
all right.
What year again?
85.
I didn't realize it was that late.
Yeah. 365 days later in 86, Giants left-handed pitcher Steve Carlton became the second to reach 4,000 strikeout milestone when he got center fielder Eric Davis an 11-5 loss versus the Reds. 86, it is revealed that Andrew Wyleth of Shads Ford, Pennsylvania, had secretly created 240 drawings and paintings of his neighbor Helga Testorf. Oh, that's a stalking situation if there ever was one.
That does sound weird.
I'm going to draw my neighbor. I'm going to draw my neighbor 240 times and paint. That is creep.
Yeah.
Creepo. Hello. 1986, the U.S. Senate voted for the SDI project nicknamed Star Wars.
Oh.
88, what do we got here?
American political Mario Biagatti, Rep. New York, convicted of racketeering, resigns his seat.
Oh, how fitting. A representative Democrat in New York. Yeah.
Imagine that.
If the shoe fits, Now I got some horse stuff here. 88.
88. Thoroughbred trader Dale Bard wins his 5,000th career race with Stuffed Jody at Mountaineer Park, second to reach the milestone behind Jack Van Berg.
Nice. 1989, we have the first ever dead heat in harness racing Hamilton. Park Avenue Joe and Probe tie the third and final heat. Park Avenue Joe won series on count back. That has to be horse racing.
Yeah, well, the harness is that little cart behind it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I was having a little bit of a cricket situation. I was starting to feel like I was having a stroke. 1989, NASA Venus probe Magellan was launched from Space Shuttle, the first to do so. Oh, that's interesting. So we launched a probe from instead of just straight up just launching it.
Yeah.
No. And that makes me wonder though, like if you just straight up launch it, you know, you have unbroken momentum. But if you launch a space shuttle, and then it gets into orbit, then it launches from there. Now you have a two-stage broken momentum.
Well, when you launch from the ground, you're still going to have 2, maybe 3 stages.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't stop, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like if you launch it from, if you take it off of a space shuttle, it's not that it's being launched from the space shuttle while the shuttle is still, you know, like maneuvering. It gets into position, then it lets it go. You know, well, that's what I'm saying. Like it goes.
Still maneuvering.
It's still what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is. With from the ground, you go and it's unbroken. With a space shuttle, you go and you get into orbit and it provides like kind of a little break and then it continues going. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you're trying to make a break, but there's not. One is releasing from it. They're going to release whether it's direct, what you're talking about, straight in from the ground up, coming up from the shuttle. The difference is the shuttle releases it just like other stages release it, but then the shuttle goes on to do other things, like come back down to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, well, some of the other stages do come back to the ground too.
Well, they fall back down, but this is flying down. This can go up to the shuttle station. It can do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So they're two different
modes of transport. Yeah.
They're 2 different purposes.
Yeah.
Where the straight from the ground is one purpose.
What do we got here in 92?
1992, Cuba wins baseball inaugural gold medal at the Olympic Games in Barcelona, beating Chinese Taipei 11-1.
Wow.
For a small country, they produce a lot of baseball players.
You know, baseball is huge in Latin America.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
We have a lot of our players there.
Isn't Barry Bonds from somewhere? Like
a lot of players come from there, yeah.
I don't know. Here we go. Big thing.
1992, former officer of the Los Angeles Police Department, previously acquitted on charges of beating Rodney King, are indicted on federal civil rights charges.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to Rodney King?
Talks about what he was doing beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did beat the hell out of him.
They did beat the hell out of him, but like, you know,
they did.
As we like to repeat, not every ass kicking falls out of the sky.
Right.
Nobody talks about what he was doing, because wasn't he doing something aggressive? Like, wasn't he, like, not really breaking a law, but he was doing some kind of something, like he was starting a fight or something. Rodney, he did something.
The difference is this got recorded.
Yeah, exactly. They got the press.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But those riots were something else.
Yeah.
The Watts riots were before them.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, like everybody's always like, oh, you know, racism, police brutality, yada yada. It's like, you know, yeah, I grant you that. I'm not going to deny that, you know, the beating of Rodney King, it was horrible. I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
But what caused it?
Yeah.
You know, tit for tat. Tit for tat.
Well, nothing justifies it. That's
nothing justifies it.
But
you know,
just didn't.
But nobody talks about, you know, what you know, was the previous, you know, part of that chain of events.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you know, it's not like he was just walking down the street and they just got out of the car and started beating him to death for no reason. You know, so.
And as I recall, I believe he's already known to the police department.
I think so too. No. But yeah.
I believe.
Oh, but you know, we gotta you know, justice. Anyway, 1993, Republican Guard killed 64 civilians at Guinea marketplace in Chad, which is a country in Africa.
Right.
So, 94, Antonov 12 crashed at Boda, eastern Siberia, killing 47.
So what crashed?
Antonov 12. I'm gonna look that up here really quick. It sounds maybe an aircraft. Okay, yeah. So this crashed, a big prop airplane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks like a transport carrier or something big.
Some kind of cargo aircraft.
Cargo.
Yeah. It's big. So, yeah, obviously, clearly cargo. 95, the city of Knin, a significant Serb stronghold, so Serbian, was captured by Croatian forces during Operation Storm. This date is celebrated as a day of victory, and Homeland Thanksgiving Day in Croatia.
Ah, okay.
All right. What do we got in 96? Oh, here we go.
1996, Kansas City Chiefs, whoop whoop, rout Dallas Cowboys 32-6 in an NFL preseason exhibition game in Monterrey, Mexico.
Yeah.
So, I guess the significance in Mexico.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny. You remember Rhombusser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fan of the Cowboys, and
nobody's perfect.
I know. Well, what's funny is King here. He's a fan of the Chiefs.
Oh, now we're going downhill.
I don't think. Show
He's
it again.
He's speechless.
Show it again.
Oh man. Oh,
What a
that's
Hawkeye
dedication.
here.
That's dedication.
What is that?
It's a Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, like Rhombusser referred to the Chiefs as the Kansas City Queefs.
Queefs.
Yeah.
So
Or the chefs.
Yeah, but that's why I put it is because Rhombusser and we didn't really end on good terms. So I'm just like, Rhombusser, eat it. Your team sucks, lol. 32-6.
Yeah.
Huh. Get creamed. What else do we got? 47.
Green Air 747 with 331. Wait, I lost it. 31 aboard crashes, and Guam 29. Wow, 29 survived.
So 29 out of 331. So 302 people died. Yikes. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Too many.
97 as well. Ramzi Yosef, the mastermind of the World Trade Center bombing, went on trial.
Ooh.
Remember that, the bomb that went off in the parking structure underneath?
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
So,
the van or whatever was
Yeah.
full of explosives.
98, the U.S. spin-off Whose Line Is It Anyway, starring Ryan Stills, Colin Mockery, and Wayne Brady, debuted on ABC. And
I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of that show. I've seen it once or twice.
that is a cult following, man.
But man, can those? I mean, you gotta pick, give you a topic, and then you just improvise. Those guys are so talented.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're essentially like
It's an improv.
because how I make things up off the top of my head.
Yeah.
They are to me what I am to most other people.
Yeah.
They're
on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Really good. That guy's really good.
Yeah.
But it didn't connect for me for whatever reason.
It's
Yeah.
I mean,
I appreciate those guys. They're awesome.
yeah.
It just didn't connect.
Not my cup of tea. I don't dislike it, but it's
Right.
not really my favorite either. It's just
Yeah.
okay, cool. In 1999, St. Louis slugger Mark McGwire became only the 16th MLB player to reach the 500 home run milestone as the Cardinals lost 10-2 versus the San Diego at Busch Stadium. And I wonder if that has been stripped because he obviously was juicing.
Oh,
Everybody was.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can see in the beginning of his playing career, he was more of a guy like me, whatever, built that kind of way. And then a few later,
He doubled his fucking body mass and
totally
muscle.
bulked up,
Oh my
so
God.
obviously. And eventually he was proven.
But what do we got here in 2000? Take us into the next millennium. King?
2000, Moneymaker wins the 500,000 Nat Gray at Meadowlands in world record. It's 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 1 second to become harness racing's first 5 million stakes earner.
I think it's a minute 52.1
I'm
seconds.
a minute 52. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to the colons and the decimals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what else do we got? That's pretty cool. 500,000. What else do we got here?
2001, Cleveland Indians tie an MLB record in erasing a 12-run Seattle lead to win 15-14, also preventing the Mariners from reaching a record 117 season wins.
Oh, they got close. They got this. You're this close to greatness, as the meme goes. 15-14, and that ended their 117.
Yeah.
Man, that
Yeah.
dude. People must have been pissed. Like, man. 2005.
2005 NBA announces Las Vegas will host the 2007 Star Game. First time event will be held in a city without an NBA team.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And then the Raiders eventually moved there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they moved to
Not moving
Oakland,
into that
and then
thing.
they moved back to LA, and then they moved to Oakland, and then they moved
Yeah,
back
they
to
move
LA.
everywhere. No wafting. No wafting allowed.
But we missed a baseball one here in 2001. Yeah. No, we got that one. 2000. No, not baseball one. A paleontology, I guess. I'm not sure.
What did we use?
2005.
Okay.
Discovery. 2005.
St. Louis Cardinals?
No, the one before that. Discovery of Skull 5, the earliest complete Homo erectus skull, aged 1.8 million years old, at Dmanisi, Georgia, the country, not the state, I think, by archaeologist David Lorad-Kipatidze, site of first known hominids to leave Africa. Wow. And actually, there's a recent discovery that's the whole, like, we all came out of Africa theory and all that stuff might not be a whole bunch of truth, because they're starting to discover, things originating in Europe.
Oh.
So there might actually, because there's been like Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and all that stuff. But there's a whole nother, lineage, of our DNA that's being discovered has come out of Europe, not Africa, still around today. So,
Okay.
But yeah, let's go back up here. What do we got with the Cardinals?
St. Louis Cardinals first baseman Albert Pujols becomes the first player to connect for 30 home runs in each of his first MLB season.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
2006, Warren Moon became the first black quarterback to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, joined by Troy Aikman, John Madden, Rayfield Wright, Harry Carson, and Reggie White.
Yeah, that's weird. They have a Reggie White picture, but they start with Warren Moon.
Well, that's what I was saying, yesterday. Like, we're talking about this guy. Why the hell is this guy getting the picture?
Yeah, I don't know.
And there's examples of multiple pictures. Let's see if we can find one. They can put in a second picture. They put in third pictures.
Yeah, no, we've seen it many times.
Yeah, so like, give people some credit. But hold on a second. Family
Just
guy.
if you're going to put White's picture there, start with White.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because had Warren Moon, I go, that's not Warren Moon.
But whenever I talk about John Madden, this scene plays
Air is
to me.
electric here at Super Bowl 33 tonight. Pat, I think it's safe to say that all these fans came out here to watch a game of football.
John, we're in commercial.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation. Come on. Football!
Good old
Here's
John
a side
Madden.
note for John Madden. He was a football coach, obviously.
Yeah.
And then later an announcer. Scared of flying. He went by train.
Oh.
Whatever city he was going to for the next game, he went by train.
Huh. Oh, that's adorable. Look at King snuggling with his pup.
All right.
I caught you snuggling. 2007, Atlanta left-hander Tom Glavine became only the 23rd pitcher in MLB history to reach the 300-win milestone as the Braves beat Cubs 8-3.
Tom Glavine.
Glavine, okay.
You were close enough.
Yeah. 2010, King.
Ooh, the speedballer.
Yep. The guy so
Led
fast even his
by
head is
Hall
like,
of Fame pitcher Nolan Ryan and Pittsburgh attorney Chuck Greenberg is confirmed as winning bidder in court-ordered auction of Texas Rangers MLB franchise value $593 million.
My audio cut out there for a second. So Texas Rangers MLB franchise value at $593 million. Oh yeah. No, like
Now
this
they
guy.
pay him that to pitch.
Yeah. Well, Nolan Ryan, like the guy
Oh,
so
smoke.
Like no,
Hardest pitcher I ever saw. I mean, I'm sure there was some harder,
but I mean, he's so fast. Even his hat looks like it's ready to go. Like I mean, look at the angle.
He threw harder than Koufax and Drysdale.
Ah.
And I saw both of those.
We got some NASA 2011.
NASA launched its Juno space probe from Cape Canaveral to orbit and study Jupiter.
Cool. And Uno Mas 2011.
Svalbard polar bear attack. A rogue polar bear attacks and kills British schoolboy.
What? That. Where is Svalbard? Like, it sounds like way up north or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Huh. 2012, a gunman opened fire on a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, killing 6 people and then committing self-deletion. So.
Is that when the Zeeks were getting hit because they wore turbans?
No, way after.
Yeah, that's way later.
Yeah, no, like the whole misconception of, the whole, like, the towel head thing, like from 9/11.
Yeah.
No, that was 2001, 2002, 3. I got caught up in that crap, and I've said my story with Mehmet and all that whatnot.
Yeah.
Really opened my eyes. Like,
yeah.
So, well, let me tell the story again. Just if anybody's new is watching this and all that stuff. So, like, back in 2001, like, I was brand new. Like, 9/11 happened, my second week of high school. Brand new.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to your high school career. Here's a major historic national tragedy that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I got swept into the whole anti-Muslim thing, all that whatnot, and the whole confusion, as you said, between the Sheik and, like,
Zeeks.
the Zeeks. Well, these are Sikhs. S-I-K-H. There's Sikhs, Zeeks.
Sikhs, I believe it is.
Sikhs. I don't know.
Sikhs is what it is, I
but
believe.
But Indians, practitioners of their religion and stuff, were getting misidentified as Muslim and all that stuff, and they were getting hated on, and we all remember the stories of the convenience store people getting bashed and all that whatnot. So I said some pretty hateful things, like like we gotta take action against Muslims or whatever. And so, now at the time I was best friends. Well, not best friend. I was friends with the senior, which, like, if you're in high school, if you're a freshman and you have a senior as a friend, you got carte blanche. Like, that is it made. And he was, I wouldn't say best friends, but he was up there. He was a good friend of mine. We hung out. We talked. He
took you under his wing.
Yeah, took me under his wing and all that stuff. There was this guy named Mehmet. But I was just, I was spamming, I was spouting the rhetoric and all that stuff. So he's like, I'm Muslim. And then that opened my eyes. Like, do I double down and just, or do I take a real, like, hard look at myself?
Personal, immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, that's one of, like, the major turning points. Like, there's, like, as it's said in the whole Deadpool movie, you only get, like, 5 moments to be a hero or something. Like, you only get, 5 moments in life to really turn your life around, to really get something pushed in your face, and that dictates who you're going to be for the rest of your life. A fork in the road. Yeah. And I took the good path, I believe, being like, really took some introspective on my own life and be like, what am I saying? A friend of mine is Muslim, but they can't all be bad. What's going on? And that really gave me a big reality check. Early on in life, mind you, I was what, 14, 13, somewhere in there, entering high school.
You were probably 13.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
So it happened at a great point in my life. It helped me develop into a better person, I'd say, farther along.
Probably right.
So, anyway, 2012 as well, Jamaican sprint superstar Usain Bolt won the 100-meter at the London Olympics in 9.63 seconds, besting the record he set in 2008. So the previous Olympics.
Yeah.
So, defeating his own record. 2013, 160 people were killed by flash floods across Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Ooh.
Yikes. What else do we have in 2013, King?
MLB bans New York Yankees infielder Alex Rodriguez for 211 games as a result of the biogenesis laboratory scandal.
Huh.
No idea what that is.
Biogenesis. Huh. I wonder if he's some kind of doping something or whatever, like
I don't know,
changing his DNA. I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Here we go.
The world's first bovine stem cell lab-grown burger is eaten in London.
Yuck. Yuck. Lab meat. Like, this is the start of all that fake meat, you know, the
Lab
Impossible
meat,
Whopper
two
and all
words
that
that should
crap.
not be put together.
Yeah.
Lab and meat.
Yeah. 2014, Obama signed the Iron Dome bill providing $225 million taxpayer dollars in additional funding to Israel's Iron Dome defense.
That's shocking. I did not know he
This
financed
is why I keep saying what I say about Israel. We keep giving them money. We're getting nothing back. We keep giving them shit. You know, we're desperate. We have no infrastructure, and they're living, you know, the high horse, the gravy train on our dollar. Why?
I'm really shocked that he is the one that financed that.
I'm not at all.
I am shocked.
They're all pawns. This is why I keep saying what I say about Israel, and why I keep saying you got to open your eyes. You know, like this
He
is
was no friend
your
of Israel.
tax dollars going over there to help them kill and genocide another people.
He was no friend of Israel. I'm really surprised.
Well, this is why I
there you
keep
go.
telling you, Dad.
Hey, it's a
Oh.
good thing he did what he did.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. A good thing to help another nation kill other people? Absolutely
no,
not.
That's all defense. The Iron Dome's offensive.
It's not defensive. It's offense.
It is not.
They use it to bombard and take more land.
They don't bombard with it. They
Well,
bring
of course.
incoming missiles. The Iron Dome protects them from incoming missiles.
So why can't they fund their own defense? Why do we have to do it?
Well, I'm just clarifying what it is. You're saying it's an offense.
It is an offense.
No, it isn't.
It absolutely is. Anyway, what else do we got here? 2015?
Torrential rains and flooding leaves at least 178 people dead in India in the wake of Cyclone Coleman.
Yikes. Huh. Another 2016 here. Alright. Yeah.
2016, 31 Summer Olympics Games officially open in Maracana Stadium, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Alright.
Brazil.
Yeah. 2017, Jamaican sprint superstar Usain Bolt finishes third behind Justin Gatlin and Christian Coleman in his final individual race, the 100 meter at IAAF World Championships in London. Okay, so he's losing his steam here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's past his prime.
Yep. But his prime was very good. 2017 as well, Super Rugby final, Ellis Park, Canterbury Crusaders of New Zealand traveled to Johannesburg and defeated the Lions 25-17 for their 8th SR title. Nice.
Now, you probably didn't know this. Your grandfather played rugby.
Yeah, I know that he also boxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was a fit guy and all that stuff. You told me, like, he boxed in college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And 2017 as well, we have a United Nations Security Council voted to impose sanctions on North Korea for its continued missile program. Well, that didn't stop them. You know, they just find, you know, loopholes and back alley deals and all that stuff and stuff through China and Russia that we just, you know, turn a blind eye to and all that crap. So, but we got an earthquake here in 2018 if King wants to take it.
2018 6.9 magnitude earthquake on islands Lombok, Indonesia kills at least 460 people and displaces 350,000.
350,000. 350,000 would be 35 million? No, 3,500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 350,000. There. Right.
Anyway.
It's getting on 3 hours now. We need to
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get going here.
move
Well,
this
let's
along.
go ahead and wrap us up here. So, there's still quite a substantial amount of history here, but I implore anybody who's watching, you know, to go to our sources in the underbar. You know, check out because you know we already, you know, just cherry pick so many articles. The amount of history that happens on a daily basis is astonishing. But anyway, for all of you and all of us, I'm A.O. Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon.
And you are you viewer, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Toodles!
Deuces.
Let me hit this.